Hi there. Today I will be reviewing a floor plan that I redesigned and posted on Instagram, which got a lot of criticism, and it was at least hurting. But as an architect who is true to his occupation, I always welcome criticism. I think a good architect should be like that because obviously the design process relies heavily on criticism from others and even from ourselves. And I think the more self-critical you are, the better of an architect you will be. But anyways, less yapping and let's get into the video. So this is the floor plan and it is a 2-bedroom apartment attached from 2 sides to other apartments with windows opening to the front and the back too. And here's what I came up with. But first, I will comment on the original floor plan and then go through what I did with my redesign and then apply changes to it following the comments from Instagram. I think the first obvious mistake, which was not opposed by anyone, by the way, is this little tiny ass toilet. Not only is it small, but there's also a vanity right in front of you. Sitting down here will be a challenge, especially for your knees if you are a tall person. And of course, the door opens towards you, making it even more annoying to get in. Doors are always better when opened forward, so your movement is much smoother. So put this advice deep in your minds because it's really important. The second mistake is the fact that the entrance is exposed to the living room and the rest of the public zone. And surprisingly, some people are okay with that. Maybe it is just me who likes to have the entrance separated. And I think that makes sense because after all, it is a transitional space between the outside and the inside environment. And we do put transitional spaces between different zones. For example, if we have a living room and a bedroom next to each other, it is preferable to add a transitional space between them. And the more extreme the difference between these spaces, the more required this transitional space becomes. And I think it's obvious that the entrance should get that. But anyways, we get inside and to our left, there's a corridor that leads us to the seating area and to the bedroom. Now, I have to say that we do have a living room, so I don't know what this room is for. In my video on Instagram, I did mention that this corridor leads you directly to the bedroom, and someone mentioned that there are pocket doors. And yes, there are pocket doors, but they make the whole layout even more confusing because this room has 2 access points and one of them leads to the bedroom, suggesting that this room has some type of connection to the bedroom. And not to forget that the bedroom already has a door from here, so this opening here now makes it even clearer that this room has some belonging to the bedroom, thus proving my theory that the bedroom is exposed, especially since this room is open to the living room. And it feels like this room becomes some gray area, limbo, not here, not there place. I really like it when spaces are clearly defined as in who this space belongs to, especially with private spaces like bedrooms, where privacy becomes a really important factor in the space. And this whole confusion would have been solved if the architect just extended this wall here. But I guess an adventurous floor plan is also a choice. Now, this bedroom here is fine. It has natural light access, but it is a bit oversized because there's this whole empty area in the middle for no purpose. So this bedroom can definitely get minimized. But this bedroom here has this long neck extension just to reach the window for natural light, and you have this office or study area that feels claustrophobic, and for a bedroom this big you only get this amount of closets. Having the dining table right in the middle of the kitchen is problematic when it comes to opening the kitchen cabinets, and it makes accessing these cabinets even harder. And the living room is so alienated with empty spaces all over to your left and to your right, plus it sits in the middle of the apartment, so it gets interrupted by movement all the time. Living rooms are stationary spaces, so it is best to put them in some place where you don't get interrupted. A person sitting here watching TV will have people going in front of him or her and knowing their experience. And those were my comments on the original floor plan. Now it is time to comment on my redesign. So the theme of the criticism was wasted space, saying things like you created wasted space, you added unnecessary spaces, and things like that. Looking at my redesign now, I do admit that I had some unnecessary things added to it. And I'm talking about the fact that I gave an ensuite bathroom for both bedrooms plus a hall shower and toilet for guests. So yes, that is excessive. I also want to point out the fact that I said this bedroom was big, then I kept it that way. So I'm sorry about that too. Another place a commenter pointed out for wasted space was this area in front of the kitchen, which I agree with 100% because even when I was redesigning the floor plan, I felt that space in front of the kitchen was empty, and it is empty, so I will definitely change the kitchen layout. But looking back at it now, why didn't I change it? See, that's why we need to listen to criticism. Going to another place where people said it was a waste of space, which I 100% do not agree with, is this back corridor. Just because a place is empty, it does not mean it is a waste of space. You can't put something here, even if it was open. The space in front of the doors cannot be used, obviously, and the rest is for circulation. Like, we cannot push this pantry back, for example, with this layout. Though I want to say that the whole layout in general can be better, but I still think that the space itself is not a waste. Going from wasted spaces to cramped areas, someone said that the entrance is too small and you are faced with the cabinets right away, which I agree with, but I think this problem is easy to fix. Another person said that the placement of the living room isn't good, and I think that's completely wrong. I think this area here is the best place to put the living room in. Just like I said, there is no traffic that can interrupt you here while sitting down, and it is directly next to the window, which means you will get a lot of natural light. So those are my comments on my redesign. Now it is time to show you the second revision of this floor plan, and here it is. So I minimized this bedroom because it was already big, and I converted the ensuite, which I added, into a walk-in closet. I really like this change because now we can add another sofa to the living room, making it bigger. And no, I don't want to add a TV. I personally don't watch TV. But I mean, who does watch TV nowadays? But if you want to add one, of course, you can go ahead and add it. Anyways, the living room is now bigger, which is the good news. Now that I removed the ensuite, we have 2 full bathrooms, which I think is a good number for an apartment of 3 plus guests. One of those was an ensuite too, which I cut off from the bedroom and made it independent. I shifted the one next to the entrance to expand the entrance area. And just like I said, the area in front of the kitchen was too empty, so I changed the kitchen layout to fill the space. And for this bedroom, I changed the layout of the walk-in closet and shifted the bed and the office space so I could put the door from here. This is what I was referring to when I said that the layout can be better, because in the old floor plan you had to walk the whole hallway to reach the bedroom, and that space was dedicated for the circulation path. Plus, now we can put back the sofa from the original plan, and I also changed the window type here to a vertical sliding window so that the window does not take up space when opened. I also turned this into a normal non-openable window because the wall is too close for it to open anyway. And I also like how the circulation path turned out to be really clean and simple. But yeah, that was my revision for my redesign of this floor plan. Tell me what you think about it in the comments. Like, subscribe, and bye.